Sir, you're under arrest for using tabs.
But notes are a pain.
Sir, don't tell me you've never heard of octave shapes.
Mm-mm.
Enough, sir. Learn the fretboard properly.
A few moments later.
Here is something that honestly changed how I see the fretboard. Whether you're just starting out or you've been playing for years, there is a good chance this will surprise you. It's a way to learn the notes on the fretboard, without memorizing, without cramming, just seeing the logic. And trust me, it's not complicated. You ever wonder why pianists don't use tabs? They just learn notes from the very beginning. That's just how it is. Same with the sax players. No one asks if they read tabs. They just read music. But guitarists, we live in a parallel universe. Arrows, numbers, weird diagrams, and honestly, tabs aren't even that helpful. They tell you where to put your fingers, but not what you are playing. And yeah, to be fair, the fretboard is trickier than, say, a piano. On a fretboard, notes go left to right. That's it, one direction. But on guitar, notes go left to right and bottom to top. It's not a straight line, it's a grid, a 3D map. And here is the cool part. There is geometry in that. The fretboard is actually really logical, even beautiful once you see the patterns. And that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. If you know some basic chord like C, G, A minor, you already know part of the fretboard. Every chord starts with a note that what gives it its name. So the lowest note in a C chord, that's a C. In a G chord, that's a G. In A minor, that's an A. You've played those notes a million times, you just didn't think of them like that. And that's where we'll start building the map. To find the same note across the fretboard, we use octave shapes. Sounds like music theory, but it's really just geometry. An octave is just the same note higher or lower, like C to C, or G to G. Same note, different pitch. And when you play two of the same notes an octave apart, they sound clean, tight, like one voice. No other interval sounds quite like that. So if you know where one note is, you can find the same note in other places, just by using one of two shapes. First shape, through one string and 2 frets to the right. Start on the 6th string, skip the next, and land 2 frets higher. Same note, 1 octave up. Usually the lower note is under the index, upper under the pinky. When I say right or left, I mean from the player's point of view. Right means toward the body, left toward the headstock. Second shape, through 2 strings and 3 frets to the left. Skip 2 strings, move 3 frets back, and you'll land on the same note, 1 octave up. Now the pinky grabs the lower note and the index gets the upper one. Let's take a G on the 6th string. Use the first shape. There is another G, 1 octave up. Now we try the same shape from the next G, and it doesn't sound right. That's not an octave. And here is why. The tuning between the 3rd and 2nd string is different. Most guitar strings are tuned in 4th apart. That's an interval of 4 notes. But between the 3rd and 2nd string, it's a 3rd, 1 note tighter. If you've ever tuned your guitar using the 5th fret method, you've seen this. It's always 5th fret, except right there, where it suddenly becomes the 4th. So when your octave shape hits the 2nd string, you need to adjust. Move the top note up by 1 fret, and now it works again. Let's try this with the note F. Start on the 6th string, 1st fret. Build the first shape, F on the 4th string's 3rd fret. Then go again, this time we hit the 2nd string. Remember the 2nd string trick? Add 1 fret, so now we're at the 6th fret. Now, no more strings left above. What do we do? This is where the second shape comes in. It's built through 2 strings and 2 frets, but there's a catch. When you adjust for the 2nd string, it stretches the first shape and shrinks the 2nd. So when we move to the 5th string, instead of going to the 9th fret, we go to the 8th. Let's keep going with the same logic. First shape with adjustment. Eventually you'll hit the highest F on the 1st string, 13th fret, and you might think that's it, end of the road. But here's the trick. The first and sixth strings are both E, just 2 octaves apart, which means the same frets give you the same notes in different registers. So the 13th fret of the 6th string is also an F, just 2 octaves lower. So it's like we've returned to the very beginning, but 12 frets higher, and we can keep going from here. When you start seeing these octave shapes, the fretboard changes. It stops feeling like random dots and starts feeling like a roadmap. And once you've got these reference points, you can move entire phrases across octaves. And if you want more diagrams, exercises, extra tricks, it's all up on my Patreon. Links in the description.